This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
This is The Roger Stone Show.
This is Roger Stone, and you're back on The Roger Stone Show here on the Red Apple Audio Network. You know, until you yourself have been targeted by an all-powerful, completely funded federal government, when you've been targeted in a criminal action and in fact you've done nothing whatsoever wrong, it's an experience that is very, very hard to describe. The man we're going to talk to now is in that position today. Now, if you followed bodybuilding in the United States in any capacity over the last several decades, it's almost certain that you have come across a man named Ameen Alai. He is called Guru Ameen by his clients, considered an expert on nutrition, bodybuilding technique. Ameen Alai, who I met 30 years ago as a personal trainer in D.C., has trained some of the bodybuilding legends like King Kamali, Dave Bautista, and Don Long. He's long been an influential and prominent member of the bodybuilding community for decades, and his bodybuilding and nutrition techniques are commonly used among some of the most prominent and successful ranked bodybuilders in the country. But then something very strange happened. Roughly in March of 2021, Ameen Alai, who joins us today, had become roommates with a Colorado business owner named Jim Tamagani, I think I said that right, who owns and operates a business called the Red Pill Reset. Now, Jim's business is based around helping clients improve their health by selling and administering an all-natural substance to his clients called ibogaine. This substance is used as part of a health regimen that many people claim will help clients get their freedom back. In other words, it's an excuse, it's a substitute for drugs like Xanax and Prozac. This is a legal all-natural supplement that is legal in the state of Colorado. In 2021, Alai and Jim's roommate died after he was administered a dose of ibogaine, a man named Andy Heyman, who had signed up for Jim's protocol. After this fellow Tagamini administered ibogaine, the man began having convulsions. Law enforcement officers and paramedics were called to the scene, and unfortunately, the patient was declared dead. An autopsy conducted by the state of Colorado after the death of Mr. Heyman revealed that he had died of a pulmonary embolism. A fundraiser posted by his own family insisted that he died of a pulmonary embolism due to an elbow surgery that he'd had 3 days prior to receiving the entirely legal ibogaine treatment. Initially, the state's toxicology report no traces of ibogaine in Mr. Heyman's blood. In fact, however, Ameen Alai, who is then charged by the federal government in connection with the death of Mr. Heyman, despite the fact that Ameen Alai never had, never possessed, never sold, and never administered this all-natural substance to the deceased, he has been charged, and now with a 9-year-old son, for which he is essentially a single parent, and having run through all of his savings, his business having been destroyed by the negative publicity. He has been evicted from his apartment. He has had his cell phone cut off, and he is actually indigent. Now, what really bothers me about this story, before we get to Ameen, is the fact that because he was indigent, he went to two public defenders. Those public defenders spent 16 months preparing a case for his defense. They contacted and identified multiple medical experts who say that a person cannot, literally, it is medically impossible to die from an overdose of this all-natural substance. Yet federal prosecutors have sealed all the records in this case so that we cannot see them. This is really extraordinary because now, today, Ameen Alai faces the possibility of life in prison for a crime that he did not commit. Ameen Alai, welcome to the Roger Stone Show.
Thank you so much for having me, Roger. I appreciate this.
I know this is a very difficult time for you. I know that you have turned your burden over to the Lord, that you are praying for help. It's interesting to me that you are a follower of Andrew and Tristan Tate. Very controversial, but Andrew Tate's a former kickboxer, and they preach to men masculinity, self-responsibility, fitness, sobriety, spirituality. They are, I learned about them from you, Ameen. They sent $10,000 to your legal defense fund, for which I'm very, very grateful. But tell us about this nightmare.
Well, as you said, it started back in 2021. Jim Tamagini was my roommate, and he was conducting this red pill reset business out of the house we were living in. Andy Heyman had decided to do this treatment with him. Andy Heyman came over, received the treatment, and shortly afterward, he died. And the paramedics ruled his death as a natural cause. They ruled it as a pulmonary embolism. Everyone ruled it as a pulmonary embolism. And then months later, in August, they came back with a test that showed that there could have been something that might have resembled ibogaine. Again, it wasn't 100% identification. And with that, they ran over a year-long investigation and came up to the conclusion that I had some involvement in the distribution of this substance, which I had no involvement in.
What really bothers me, I guess, the most is that because you're indigent, you went to two public defenders. I actually met with them. For 16 months, they prepared your case, claiming that there was more than reasonable doubt in the state's case, identifying multiple medical experts who insisted that it's medically impossible for a person to die from a minute dose of ibogaine, and that the levels of ibogaine in the limited discovery that the state did supply to them really left a very weak case by the government. But then, shockingly, 2 weeks before you were going to go to trial for your life in August, they came back to you and said, "We've changed your mind. You must plead guilty. You have to accept a sentence of 15 years to life. The judge will not allow you a continuance. The judge will not allow you to seek new counsel. That we can't be fired. You really have no choice." Correct. None of that was true. Your mother. Go ahead.
With the last money that my family had, we were able to secure a lawyer who was recommended by a very close friend of both of ours. And this lawyer reviewed the case and discovered that the case was very weak. In fact, there was zero evidence to prove that there was any death related to ibogaine whatsoever. And with that, we were given some hope. and decided to try to hire a lawyer and beat this case as should be.
I'm going to be more candid about this. Your mother went out and borrowed $10,000 to find a local Colorado attorney whose limited involvement was to get you a continuance until October. God bless her.
That's correct.
But the most incredible thing here is, to me, is why. First of all, they raided your home, claiming during your probation awaiting trial that you had violated the terms of probation because you possessed a gun. Ameen, do you own a gun?
This is entirely fabricated. As a matter of fact, I was incarcerated for a week only to show up in court and have me sign a paper that said that I'm not supposed to possess a firearm and that there was no firearm. They admitted there was no firearm. So I was falsely arrested for 7 days for, in fact, nothing.
And I point out your 9-year-old son was there for your arrest. By the way, he's an amazing kid in himself. His name is Ozzy. He's a chef. He's an amazing chef. He's got his own little show on YouTube. He's a great kid. By the way, I confess that I am his godfather. This is the Roger Stone Show. If you're just tuning in, we're talking to Ameen Alai, a man fighting for his life in the federal courts in Colorado, and we'll be right back.
This is the Roger Stone Show.
Last week was our first playoff game, and my plaque psoriasis was so itchy under all my gear. Sometimes just thinking about scratching could take me out of the moment. And then my doctor told me I could get clearer skin with a pill called Otezla.
Otezla apremilast is a prescription medicine used to treat adult patients with plaque psoriasis for whom phototherapy or systemic therapy is appropriate. Otezla can help you get clearer skin after just 4 months.
Okay, ready for the next game. Talking to my doctor about a pill was a total game changer.
Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts. Live in the moment. Ask your doctor about Otezla. Call 1-844-4-OTEZLA or visit Otezla.com for prescribing info about cost, and more.
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
This is the Roger Stone Show.
And we're back. This is the Roger Stone Show here on the Red Apple Audio Network, and we're talking to Ameen Alai. He's a legend in bodybuilding circles, but he finds himself charged with a federal crime in connection with the death of a man named Andy Heyman, a death that he has literally nothing whatsoever to do with. Heyman's own family insists that Ameen Alai is innocent, but he is going to trial in October. Thanks to Andrew and Tristan Tate, who have widely publicized the case of Ameen Alai. He needed $100 and some odd thousand to hire a criminal defense lawyer in the last week. That money has actually been raised. People can go to Give, Send, Go, and you look up Save This Innocent Man from the Matrix. That's at givesendgo.com because we don't have enough to pay for the medical experts who can testify that Ameen Alai is in fact innocent. But the question that comes down here is why? In other words, I understand politics, and I smell the stench of politics here. It is not incidental that your arrest comes only, I believe, 1 week after the state of Colorado specifically legalized ibogaine as a supplement that people can use in their own health regimen. But now, this November, there's a question on the Colorado ballot that would make ibogaine illegal. Now, who would want to make ibogaine illegal? I can tell you, Big Pharma. Because you see, if you can buy an inexpensive, all-natural supplement that helps relax you, that helps you deal with anxiety, well, then you don't need Klonopin. You don't need Valium. You don't need Xanax. So my theory here, Ameen, is they seek to make you the poster boy for their November campaign. Even if it means that you have to spend the rest of your life in prison, and I'm not sure what happens to your 9-year-old son, Ozzy. You lost his brother to cancer less than a year ago. So you've been through enough. Unfortunately, we don't have time to talk about that heroic effort because you and your family really did everything humanly possible to prolong his life. He lived much longer than the doctor said he would, but tragically, your son's brother has passed. Now you are facing this horrific ordeal. Do you agree with me that this is really about politics?
I believe so. I think what happened is the Department of Justice and the DEA lost the war on marijuana. Marijuana is still federally a Schedule I drug, which has been pretty much decriminalized for medical use or recreational use in almost every state in this country. And now they see this new wave of legalization coming with psychedelics, psilocybin, ibogaine, which is mainly used for addiction. So it can help people with their addiction to whether it's Klonopin or opiates. It's mainly used for opiate addiction. And who would tend to benefit from this? Well, the DEA would, because if they keep this flood of fentanyl coming in and everybody's addicted to fentanyl and they have no way of getting off of it, and ibogaine would get people off that fentanyl, then that would kind of tap into their money. So what they're trying to do is, in essence, not lose this battle. And they want to use me to say that this stuff kills people, and then therefore they can make it illegal. And when in fact it should be legalized in all the states so that we can help people beat addiction.
It is, I think, an exercise of raw power in which you are sadly the victim. Let me mention that all of this happened over 3 years ago. There is no complainant. Andy Heyman, the poor deceased man's family, has not complained. They don't believe the charges against Ameen Alai. Then he's led down the primrose path by two federal public defenders who assure him for 16 months that he has a solid defense, only to tell him that he must plead guilty, that he has no choice but to plead guilty. Thank God we have found you new lawyers, and media coverage of this case brought in $100,000 towards a goal of $200,000 to not only mount an effective legal defense. Folks, again, can go to GiveSendGo.com. GiveSendGo.com. Look up Save This Innocent Man from the Matrix. The Matrix, of course, is what followers of Andrew and Tristan Tate call the political media establishment. This is a heart-wrenching story. Folks, please go to GiveSendGo.com and find the page that says Save This Innocent Man from the Matrix. Ameen Alai, Guru Ameen Alai, bodybuilding legend. Thank you for joining us today on The Roger Stone Show.